So I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about lighting. And all this is one of those clip lights. You know, like you'd use out chicken coop or something like that, I guess. I don't know. And I've sealed up the back of it so it can be outdoors. And I use it for different times of the holiday, and I do like the idea that you can clamp it on this stuff. You can put whatever bulb you want in there, different flood, spot, change out. This is 110. Change out the bulb colors and stuff. But I'm not really sure if I can show. Kind of like sticking a flashlight underneath your chin. It changes. That's straight on. It changes how this looks, right? Get down low enough, you just splash a little bit of light onto it. You can see how that changes the perception of just a little bit of light dancing off of that. You change colors, change distance, right? Yep. Way back where it just barely touches it and it changes again. So those are some things that you can play with the lighting. LED, RGB, controllable lighting, that sort of thing. I'll give you an example. I've got different types of lights here. This old lantern, all the guts in it were kind of rotted out, so I thought, I don't want to throw it away, I want to use it. Let's see if I can stick a thing, plug in. Get your nose out of there. Okay, now, as you can see, kind of cool, and at a distance, you can see it pretty well. But the thing about something like this is, you got to waterproof it. You got to, where that socket is inside there, I got to make sure that water's not getting down inside that, and shorten things out, pop breakers, that kind of thing. So that's not for everybody, right? Not everybody's going to want electric stuff in their yard or out in the weather. So I have to be careful with a lot of this stuff, and I put it on GFCI, ground fault interrupter circuits, even on outside. I have them in the breaker box in the house, I have them outdoors. So I am careful with that sort of thing. That being said, doesn't mean I can't get shocked if I'm standing in the water out there, if I'm kneeling down monkeying with stuff what's plugged in. It's dangerous. So you may want to go with a what they call an IP66 LED, completely sealed, outdoor rated LED thing, that then all you have to do is worry about the actual plug-in connection, right? That can be put inside of something that can be dry. That way you don't have to worry about it. Or go with the 12 volt option, go with battery operated stuff, 9 volt stuff that you can buy it on Amazon, that have the little battery clips and that kind of thing. I'm trying to get away from some of that because I might run this the entire month. So I go through a lot of batteries, and that's kind of crazy. It's cheaper for me to just plug things in and let them run because they don't draw a lot of kilowatt hours versus what going to Costco and buying packs of freaking Duracells is pretty expensive. Either way, plus the nuisance of having to go out into each individual prop, and even like this dude's got batteries in the back of the head here. See that? That runs lights, and that's great, but they don't last that long. Last a couple of days, and then throw all 3 of them things away. So you rip through the batteries. The other thing to keep in mind is to save your money and your time. A light like that is great if it's in the right location, depending on what it's meant to draw your eye to. It would be much better to go with something that is diffused, something that throws light evenly instead of more, that's really crisp, right? That's just localized light. You want something that catches your attention at a distance, like a lantern. Some of the flickering lanterns really, they put out a nice glow, and that's kind of what you want the light to splash up on a tombstone or splash beyond the object. This goes in a specific place to catch your attention and goes with part of a scene, so it doesn't really need to splash light everywhere. But that's just some of the things I've learned is they look really cool. You plug them in the house or out in the garage or whatever, and then you get out there and you think, well, it's kind of not as impactful as I would have liked. So, different things to fool with. I'm going to put a few pictures of different lights that you are going to typically run across. And then I'll see if I can't find some more of the battery operated stuff and the LEDs that I'm going to try to go for running low voltage. So I'm not running 110 stuff. But again, you know, if you think about it, you get plug in Christmas lights all the time. People plug those in and run them all over the place. You got to be careful with that too, right? All those little things, you pull those bulbs out and they got wires and little connectors inside that stuff. You know, you just need to use caution. That's all I'm saying. Okay, this a little bit more so because you're monkeying around putting things out that weren't really intended. Like a Christmas light was intended, it'll say outdoor lights, right? Or it'll say indoor. I'm taking stuff that could be only indoor and monkeying around with it outside. A lot of people are doing that, and that's where you got to watch it. So all my motors, all that kind of stuff, it's low voltage. Not going to kill you, not going to hurt you, not going to, might, if it direct shorted and stay, you know, it might burn your fingertips. That's about all it's going to do. Anyway, I'll go see if I can't find some more of the pictures and stuff of what I'm talking about, and I'll post it on this video. Okay, thank you. See you soon. CrowHaven out.